Should be live on YouTube. Ah, there's Dom for Big Prince. There we go, baby. There we go. There we go. Big Prince in the house. Let's see who else. Yeah, I'm behind getting this going. I'm 3 minutes late starting it up, and I am probably 10 minutes late of sending out the potential link and all that kind of stuff. Let me get that. All right. Big Prince. All right, and here we got it. Let me look at this real quick. I have had a day. Let's just say that. I have had a day. And I ain't gonna lie, I still have got a few people that I have not even scored their guesses. That's how behind I am. My brother came into town today from Florida. So that ate up a lot of my day that I thought I would have all of these scores done. But let me get back to Daryl Knights. And just so y'all know, man, we recorded 4 episodes before this. We started at 5 o'clock today. So we got in 4 episodes. So the next 2 weeks are covered. So I am 4 episodes deep into whiskey. Let's just say it has been a very good day. So we'll see how tonight goes. I need some more water, but we'll do that in a minute. Big James Akiri. I see you there, big dog. And actually, right now, I'm actually finishing up some scores real quick. Take my glasses off, pop these scores out because I did not get a chance to get that done, finished like I wanted to today. So I told everybody they really need to get their scores done by like Tuesday, Wednesday. That way I had time to get them all done. Several people had a lot of family stuff going on, so I did not want, and they just could not get their tasting done. Some people had like illnesses, their palate was off. So I gave them a few extra days to record. Now, only samples 7 through 12, because 1 through 6, that was done the other night on the live. But let me finish this up real quick. 0 score there, 12, 110. Scored 0 points there. So boom, that's done. Let's go to day 8. Day 8, we'll say 10, 112. That's 2 points. And 2 points, that's 4 points. So we got 4 points there. And then he did 9, 115. That's 1 point. Ooh. Guess I don't know. No, it's 5 points. So 1 and 5 is 6. That's 6 points. So brother Tom got some points there. Go to day 9. So the good news is it looks like I've only got 2 people that have entered their guesses after or late per se, but that's fine. Both of them were traveling. I know that for sure. So that's why I gave them the extra benefit of the doubt. But I was just too busy today to get the scoring done like I wanted to. So I do apologize. And let's see, guess number 9. He said non-age stated 108. He gets 0 points. So we'll say 0. Brother Tom said 9, 112. 3 points. Wow. And 4 points. That's 7. Ooh. And he guessed the distillate right. So that's 5. That's 12 points. Just like that. Boom. Brother Tom thought he didn't do any good, but he's already scoring big here. Let's see. Oh, crap. There's a lot of people on day 12. So, I mean, sample 10. So that is a non-age stated 118. So 98 proof is 0 points. Sorry to be rambling here, but 98 is 5. 5 points there. 8, 105. None, but MGP that did guess that correctly. That's 5 points. 12, 115. 115 gets 2 points and did not guess the distillate rates. 7, 107 is nada, 0. day 11. So just this one and one more, and then we'll get back to this live fully going here. So who all's on here? Zim, what's up? Cheers. There we go. Mason's in here. Ripping sips. I would have lost the over under. I don't know what you're talking about over under, dude, but I ain't gonna lie. I'm 3/4, dude. Sats. We recorded 4 episodes, man. So we recorded 4 tonight already. Let's just say that. Let's see. So sample number 11. This guy said non-age stated 105. Nope. Gone on that one. 14 130. Nope. And 0 points. Nope. 0 points. 14 130. Nope. 0 points. 12 120. Nope. Yeah, making it easy on me. One more day and we'll be back to the live stream fully going here. I got 3 people. Day number 12. We've got 8 111. 114. That gets 2 points. So that's 2 points. That's good. Non-age stated 115. 115 gets 1 point. Did not guess distiller right. 8 110. 8. Ooh, wow. That's 5 points. 110. That's 4 points. That's 9 points. And did not guess that right. 9 points though. So there we go. So Paul, I believe you're watching. I see you there, Paul. Cheers. Yep. David Sims, Bourbon Chasers. I'm leaving. Why are you leaving, big dog? Why are you leaving? Good evening, Kenneth Slad, my man. So Paul, you're on here. I just did the final scoring. So hopefully that appears on that tab that you sent that says email of total scores. We will see. Yep. All right. So we'll pop on here. So welcome, guys. Welcome. Guy on the couch still hanging out last week. Dude, so last night we did our second to last preliminary round of the blinds. Last night we did 18. So the week before, so we did 25 total the week before. So yes, Caleb was sleeping on the couch for a little while. The last 5 that we did, my palate just wasn't 100% on. So we ended up taking those last 5 that we did and we threw those out. And we put those samples back into the mix again. So they're back into the big mix of everything that's left over. So last week we only really scored 20 that stayed. I could tell that last 5, I think Alves said he was still good, but 3 of us were like, it's not really where it needs to be. So then last night we had planned on doing 15. So we did 5, 5, 5, 100% good to go. We're like, we didn't really drink a lot. So we went and did 3 more. So we did 18 last night. So on January 11th, we have our final preliminary round. And we'll have probably 12 to 13 to score then. And then we'll do a championship round after that. But we did talk, I haven't really made a social media post about it, but what we did was the year before, we made sure to finish up by the end of the year because we wanted to be like putting our best of out with them when everybody else did. But that actually, to me, backfired a little bit because one of the very best bottles last year was Alves's Shorty from Evernorth. It was a 6-year Green River that was just stupid good. So I went ahead and said, okay, this year we're okay finishing in January versus December because we want to make sure that every 2025 release is included. But also what we wanted to make sure we did was we try to make sure that a lot of the big bottle or the bottles that were, whether it's websites, other YouTube influencers, which I don't consider ourselves influencers, we're not that, but YouTube influencers, podcast people, whatever they're best of, we try to make sure that we had something like that in ours so you can kind of get a real, because y'all know we're real. That's why we get we don't get any samples from distilleries at all, but we included their best of, try to, in our mix. So that way, so we're okay coming out a little bit late. So our final will probably be done 3rd week of January or so, something like that. Jody says, how you pick great NBC barrels. Yeah, Sly, dude. Those NBCs, man. So those NBCs are the reason why, not just those NBCs, but those were cheaper price, 130 bucks for the bourbons, but those and the $170-ish River Roots, those were kind of why, part of the reason why we crapped on a lot of legacy LEs released this year. And it's not just, and it's, I'll go to say, it's not just our group. I mean, like stuff that Cam picked was awesome, stuff that we picked, stuff that people I know picked, Bourbon Outfitter, J Hob, the collective or collection, whatever Adams group is. And I apologize. They like joke about the name of it, so I always forget which one is actually which. But a lot of those picks, man, they just, for 120 to 160 bucks, just crushed a lot of the LEs from the legacy guys. So that's really hurt. I guess it skewed me towards a lot of the LEs this year because they just weren't near as good as what we were picking ourselves. Just hope. Okay, Keith, no. So the bonus one. So that's the thing. Tonight, guys, if you haven't submitted the bonus, that doesn't matter. You can still submit the bonus for the next 20, 30, 40 minutes. We're going to talk about the bonus here in a little bit, and you can submit that live. So you can submit the bonus in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That's fine. So the bonus, don't worry about that one. I'm not even look. Let me look and see at the bonus real quick. Let me look at that tab and see if anybody's actually guessed that correctly. When I checked the other day, no one had guessed it correctly. Let's go. All right. No one has guessed the bonus correctly. If you guess the bonus, you win a whole entire bottle of that. But Keith and Keith and Hunter Womack. Keith and Hunter are, based on what I'm looking at, scanning through. Yeah, Keith and Hunter are the closest to anybody to guessing the mystery one correctly. So yes, that is cool. That is cool. So yeah. No, I haven't said that. We haven't talked about the bonus one yet. But the 12 Days of Christmas ones. So to recap, the other night we did a Discord live video. And actually, give me 1 second. I need to pour some whiskey too, man. I got to pour some whiskey. I need something to drink. Let me get a few things to drink. Give me 1 second. Go upstairs, big dog. Come on, go. All right. Get a little old granddad 114 in here. Oh, gosh, if I can get it open, it's so bad. This is a 1980 old granddad, lot number 2. So pour a little bit of this bad boy while we're talking about this. So we did a Discord live the other night where we did talk about bottles 1 through 6. So we can recap those. If anybody, hopefully people, as you're submitting your scores and guesses, you kept notes of what you guessed. If not, I can definitely send you what you guessed. I've got all of it right here. But bottle number 1 was the Gatsby 15 year. So that was the original OG Gatsby release, 15 year. It was like 97.8 proof. So 15 year MGP. That was sample number 1. Sample number 2 was something that I did not think was very good, even though a lot of influencers said it was great this year. That was the Penelope Estate 13 year. So that was that Heaven Hill 13 year, 121.4 proof. So that was the sample number 2. Nice. So Keith says you got an 81 OGD 114, dude. So these OGD 114s, man. If you look at the UPC on the back, you can see when it switched from National Distillers to Beam. And that I've even got some like 90 90 or 91s that still have like National Distiller GPCs, but the purest say from up until 80, 86 is like, because I guess 86 or 87 is when Beam bought National Distiller. So anything from 86 and older, they say is 100% nothing but National Distillers. Once you hit 1987, it can be a blend of Beam and National Distillers in there. So I kind of lean that way. I blinded a lot of them. So pretty much if I'm buying, I'm paying decent price for them. I only buy 86 and older. But yeah, so OGD is just something special. There's actually lead in that water. So they found out that's why it's part of the reason why it's so sweet, so good, is their actual water source on the property. A little bit of lead in it, but that's all right. So we talked about, all right, number 2, sample number 3, which anyone in here knows that was actually labeled as 13. So sample 13 was day number 3. And that was a Premier Drams 7-year 98 proof. And that is a Willet sourced. So Premier Drams, that's from the owners of that bar. And I've said that in that bar's name 2 or 3 times, but I think out of Chicago or DC or somewhere. But it's Willet sourced, 7-year 98 proof. And that's barrel proof though. At that, I think it's Jack Rose. Yep, there you go. Yeah, Slad, Jack Rose. Thank you. Bill Thomas runs it. Yep. So that's what sample number 13, which was day 3, was. Sample number 4, which I'm very, very happy and proud for that. Sample number 4 was one that most people slept on. When we started Patreon, that was our first release then. So we did a release the previous year of River Roots 12-year MGP rye. That was awesome. When we started Patreon, the very first release we had was a News rye, Bardstown Bourbon Company sourced. It sat there for a while. I ended up having to buy a bunch of the bottles back from Bourbon Outfitter and Alves because it just didn't sell. Totally understand. We were new to you all, to a lot of you guys. And it was a new brand you haven't heard of much with News. I dropped it trying to be a cheaper bottle, but at the same point, I had nothing to pair it with. So at $99, paying $30 shipping, 30% increase. I totally understand. We've worked through all that, figured out now we're going to pair drops together so you can combine and get free shipping or less price per bottle. If you pay $30 for 2 or 3 bottles, then that lightens the load of shipping. So, but sample number 4 is our News rye pick. Bardstown Bourbon Company rye, very unique mash bill. It's more of a bourbon lover's rye, 8-year 121 proof. That's sample number 4. So everybody's trying them. They love 4 and 6. We kept hearing 4 and 6, 4 and 6, 4 and 6. Sample 4 was that pick. And that was the one called Wedding Singer 2. Who did the Premier Drams pick? That was picked with OMWP. It was him and another guy that was in that group picked them. Way too expensive, in my opinion. Know the source, Mason, the source of what, bub? I apologize. If you talk about the source of the News, that was Bardstown Bourbon Company, or the source of the Premier Drams is Willet. Yeah, so Slide, very mid. I 100% on the Premier Drams, I am not a buy at all. I've seen them go from some pit groups for $150 a bottle, other pit groups $225 a bottle. To me, it's a $65, $70 bottle. So I am not a buy on those at all whatsoever. And I said the reason we're honest here. So we don't get any love from any distillery, no kind of sample picks or anything. But the part of the reason why I didn't like it a lot, that was aged at Castle and Key. And Castle and Key is reverse aging, in my opinion, for the most part. I'm very happy that Castle and Key now has some off-site aging warehouses, because when you age at Castle and Key, that's like the maker seller, man. It just nothing ages. It just sits there and nothing happens. So this is 7-year-old whiskey that has the color of 2-year-old whiskey, just being honest with you. Yeah, Big Prince for sure, man. Yes, I agree. I agree. So I mixed up multiple different things in these blondes. But yes, Premier Drams. So you look at it on paper, hey, here's 7-year Willet at this price. That's a home run. But if you find out that it is aged at Castle and Key and it has the color of 2-year-old whiskey, then it becomes a total pass. So I would not recommend those, just being honest with you. Yeah. Yes, Gavin, Castle and Key's a Benjamin Button of bourbon. It is, man. Castle and Key makes some of the very best rye out there for sure. Tonight, we had Marianne Eves on the podcast. One of the episodes will be coming out a week from now, 2 weeks from now, week and a half from now. Marianne. So some of the best stuff Castle and Key's ever made for whiskey to me is that 8-year weeded that came out this year or last year. And that's actually stuff that Marianne laid down when she actually worked there. And that stuff was really good. Everything else from Castle and Key, other than their gin, I've not really been big on. I want them to succeed. I want them to do awesome. I want them to do great because it's a great story. If you actually been to Castle and Key, the grounds are absolutely amazing. It is literally it is a beautiful place. It's their own water source. Everything is great except their aging. So hopefully they start aging everything off site. And the only thing they bring back to their rick houses there on site is something like they're just wanting it to get some more age to it. Like once it's already done its thing, so you've got a 12-year-old, a 14-year-old, you love the way it tastes, but you want to get a longer age statement on it, then bring it back to their original places there their actual rick houses on site and let it get some extra age to it. Or if you find 8-year you love, but you want to have a 10-year age statement, then bring it back there and let it sit because it's not going to age hardly there at all. It just doesn't. I mean, that's just being honest with you. I've had multiple things there. I got Play-Doh and that Dream Spirits. All right, Dream Spirits is different. This is Premier Drams. Dream Spirits is Prav's thing, to my knowledge, and this is Premier Drams, which, oh, there it is. So this is Premier Drams, which is 7-year that has the color of, or less color than 5-year. Or this is a 3-year, 5-year blend. But so yeah, Dream Spirits though is Prav's thing, and Dream Spirits is a little bit different. I've had a couple Hazmat Dream Spirits ryes that were really good, but I've not had anything else from them. All right, enough about Castle and Key and all that because I don't want to hate on them. They're a beautiful facility. Want them to succeed. Want them to do great. But they definitely need to do all of their aging offsite until it's time to finish it. Kind of like how Makers does with the cellar, where once they blend stuff together, they let it marry in the cellar. Castle and Key needs to age everything offsite until it's time to just let it marry or just let it get some extra age without changing the whiskey much because it just doesn't change there. Let's see. All right, number five. Number five was Makers 46 Cask Strength. Any of our big podcast listeners know that when we went and did a tour there, me, Shane, and Alves, a bunch of us went and did a tour. We did a Maker Cellar tour. We dipped our own bottles. That 46 cask, I fell in love with it. I thought it was awesome, especially for the price. Well, a lot of you guys scored it really high. So on our 12 Days of Christmas, is that sample number 5? When everyone submitted their guesses, we also had a column, thanks to James Preston, Press Tex. He had a great idea that, hey, we ought also, what is your score? So that one scored really high. It's the average score, which is now missing. I don't know why it's missing off the sheet, but the average score is now missing. But it had a very, very, very high average score, even though it's a $59 bottle. So that's why I included that one. To me, it was a big sleeper in there. It also makes amazing bourbon balls. Soak your nuts in some 46, and the bourbon balls are friggin' phenomenal. Number 6 is the last one we revealed on the Discord live the other night, and that's the one that a few people actually bought. I gotta get those boxed up and shipped out. But a lot of people were like, "I want number 6. I want number 6. I want number 6. Give me number 6." Number 6 was the Rare Character Exceptional Series malt whiskey. So that's Heaven Hill distillate, 65% malt, 35% corn. But this was the 14.5-year-old one It was distilled by Parker Beam in like 2008. So there's a lot. So those are the black, solid black glass bottles. And a lot of those, if they're 9 years, 10 years, 11 years, 13, even the 13-year tastes nothing like the 14-year plus stuff. Different animal. Distilled 2008. And multiple people in here have also said the exact same thing. Distilled 2008, different animal. Distilled newer, it just doesn't taste the same. Don't know if it's due to Parker or not, or just due to how things worked out. But I bought a lot of the 13 years thinking they were going to be like close in caliber to those 14s. Didn't happen. They were good, but not that same level. So, Slide says the best thing at the Makers Cellar Tour is a 12-year cash shrink sample. I have said that multiple times on the podcast. I said if Makers decided to put out straight up 10, 11, 12, 14-year product that never got moved from the rick house into the cellar, it just stayed in the rick house the whole entire time, is literally William LaRue BTAC type caliber, and they could totally shake the industry up on premium releases. And evidently it's probably already in the works before I said it, but I said they ought to come out, because the reason why they don't release all that stuff is they want that normal Makers profile. They want a Makers drinker to go buy Makers and it has that same profile. I said, well, that'll come out with a different label. Well, they did come out with the Star Hill Farms label, and I'm sure that was already in the works way before, because they don't listen to the podcast at all whatsoever. But that's what I said, and they were already guessing I'll work on that. So hopefully, maybe under the Star Hill label, they'll do something more like that, because I mean, they can. I'm not just saying it. I've had it. Sounds like Slides had it. Some of you guys might have had it, but 12-year, 13-year Makers that spent its whole life in the rick house, no joke, is William LaRue BTAC type caliber, where you spend $200, $250 on a bottle and it tastes like a $1,200 secondary bottle. Like, for real, no joke. Proof and age, number 5 and number 6. Okay, number 5, where it's the Makers 46 cask strength. It is non-age stated, but the proof is 111. Number 6 is 13-year, I think 4-month, and it is 134.2 proof or something like that. So 14-year 134 is where I put my numbers at. Kind of rounded up, rounded down when I'm doing scoring. Let's get rid of the dairy note. Yeah. What's the proof on day 6? Yeah, 134, 134.2 or something, 134. Good evening, cheers. Gotcha. Boom, boom. All right, so now we're into new territory. Sample 7. We've not talked about that yet. And let me see. Let me look at this list real quick. So now that I updated the scores. Oh, it doesn't count. That's day 5. So I am scored all the way through day 12. So let me go back to Paul's email of scores. I've got Anthony's still scored 109 points. That is the number 1. And like Anthony gets no prizes, so Anthony can't win anything. A lot of you guys I've said it multiple times, and some of you guys have just not seen it, because I understand everybody's busy, or you only tune in periodically. Anthony helped me box up a lot of the samples, but I poured them all myself. So when Anthony came over, all he saw was this box was labeled 1, this box was labeled 2, this box was labeled 3. So he had no idea. So since he didn't know, once we were like part with him, like, you know what, I ought to go ahead and hey, Anthony, would you like to go ahead and participate? So had Anthony participate, and he high score 109. Let's see. I'm gonna go through here. Keith scored a 70. I'm gonna highlight that. Gavin scored an 86. That's pretty high. Jonathan Ho scored an 80. Yeah, so my guess is Gavin's probably second place after Anthony. And then probably Jonathan Ho, and then Keith. But so the other day I had them all totaled up, and then something happened with the spreadsheet to where my numbers got on this other column got all out of whack. They changed lines. So I do have to go back and just double check. I need to go back and relook at 1st through 11th place. Then 1st through 11th, because technically 2nd through 11th still wins top 10 prize because Anthony does not count for that. But let's see. I thought Keith, I thought for number sure was 6 was Buff Turkey. Now I'm at 6. So that won Whiskey of the Year for us. Now this was barrel number 47. It's a Massachusetts pick. The one that we submitted, because we actually blinded like 4 or 5 of those releases before we put one in. Barrel number 54 is like the best. If you ever see the Rare Character Exceptional Series, barrel 54, I mean, I'd easily pay $600, $650 for that, 100%. Barrel 54 is amazing. Barrel 47, which I did this, was my 2nd place. But there's a couple other barrels as well. Yeah, so it's a Heaven Hill malt, but it does not. It's just it's a different animal, man. It tastes great. And then the year after that, a lot of those rare characters came out that instead of being 14 some change, they were all 15 some change. So David Jennings did one. I can't remember if the Bourbon Junkies was the 13 year or the 15 year. There's the Emerson and Nate bottle. There's Edmunds Oast. I've got 3 or 4 other ones over there. And Whiskey Vegas did one. So there was like at least 6 or 7. So Alves and I, we have blinded all of those 16 or all those 15 in years, some change ones, to decide like the top 2. Actually, so me, Alves, Jordan, I think us 3 blinded those to see which ones would go into the best of that year. And we ended up taking our top 2. I think it was the Honor Amongst Thieves pick and Edmunds Oast, I believe, were the 2 that won. But they finished great, but they didn't finish at the very, very top. Whereas the year before, that 14 year won top of whiskey. So it's one of those things where probably the 14 year was a sweet spot, because to me, although the 15 years are awesome, none of those 15s tasted quite the same as the 14. Oh, Anthony's on here. Hey, Anthony. Just so you know, Anthony was sitting right here 40 minutes ago. Anthony could still be right here. Hey, buddy. How you doing, man? You all right? Oh, no, you had to go home? Okay, that's cool. I know, buddy. I know. I'm just messing with you. I'm messing with you. Hang on. So Greg said he would have hated malt whiskey, but he clearly said he needed a bottle number 6. Go figure. That's why we blind, dude. That's why we blind. I'm not going to ruin what we did earlier on Marianne's episode, but wait till you hear that episode come out, and that's another example of why we blind. So just be looking for that. It will not be this Tuesday, but it'll be the following Tuesday. It's pretty eye-opening, so it's pretty cool. So, oh, did I say 1982? I don't know if it's a 1982. It's a 1980 Old Grandad Lot 2. That's what that is. That gone. Just don't make it like that anymore. All right, so 1 through 6, everybody knows. A lot of people knew 1 through 6 earlier in the week on Tuesday. So now on to uncharted territory. Day number 7. Day number 7 was several headshots. So a lot of headshotting on day 7. I was very happy and proud for a lot of our people that participated in this. Day number 7 is Calumet 18. So Cal 18 is day 7. I was pull this up here. We had Avi, Alex headshotted that. Anthony headshotted it. Chris L from North or South Carolina, I forget, I do apologize. He headshotted that. Mitch L, he headshotted that. And then a lot of you guys scored a ton of points that day just by guessing roughly the right age, right proof. But Cal 18 was day 7. So that one was, because besides that, nobody headshot a bottle. Actually, I did take it back. Let me go back one step. This is funny. This one is funny. I gave Gavin a hard time about this on Tuesday. So day number 4, the news rye pick, Gavin actually headshotted that it was the Wedding Singer 2 right here waiting, but he guessed the wrong distillate. All I had to do was look at the bottle or look back at the show notes. So he actually didn't get full points, but Gavin did headshot the news rye pick on day 4. That was good. So day 7 though, Cal 18. Yeah, you missed the distillate, but yeah, you headshot it, bro. It's pretty good. Anthony is, yeah. I wish Anthony would just drink a lot of mercury, maybe. That might help everybody out. Let's see here. All right, sample number 8. Day number 8, sample 8. Is any headshots? Let me look through here. Oh, there's a headshot. Gavin again. Gavin, man, Gavin, he had at least 3 headshots, I believe. Jonathan Ho. So sample 8, day 8, Jonathan Ho and Gavin headshotted that. So sample 8 is Russell's 13 batch 3. So not sure if any guys had the Russell's 13 batch 3 or not. And I've done this multiple times. For me, batch 3 is the very best batch of Russell's 13 when it's fresh crack. Well, I do love the new one. So not counting the brand new 2025 because I think I like that one a little bit better. But all the original batches or the first 4 batches, once they're open for 2 or 3 months, to me, batch 1 is still next level. It definitely beats it. But when it's fresh crack pour, I go batch 3 over batch 1. If it's been open for 1 month, 2 months, batch 1 over batch 3 for me. And I've done that blind multiple times. We've used open bottles for a while, and batch 1 always wins. Then we'll fresh crack them all, and batch 3 wins every time over 1. Yeah, no, yeah, Keith, you did great, man. You had a lot of good guesses, man. So yeah, there's a lot of good points scored on day 8. A lot of people guessed turkey. A lot of people guessed turkey. A lot of people got the proof right, got the age right. I mean, there's a lot of points scored. Even Paul got the distillate and the age right on the dot. But a lot of points scored that day as well. That's what we talked about last Tuesday. Was it seemed like days 1 through 6 scoring was a little bit low, but day 7 through on, people just amped it up, man. So I don't know if it was just pours they're more familiar with, or if they really got more like into it and they were like focusing more. But score is definitely a lot higher. Day 9. Day 9's an interesting one. Let me look through here. Day 9's one of the ones that freaking Gavin headshotted again. So Gavin headshotted it. And brother Tom from Georgia scored a lot of points that day. Day number 9, Maker's Cellar 2025. 2025 release, this year's release of Maker's Cellar. So that was 113 proof. It was a blend of 11 year and was it 13 year or something? So Gavin headshotted. Pretty good amount of points scored that day too, though. A lot of people with 3 to 5, 3 to 7 points that day as well. So not bad at all. Noah said, not me. Now, Noah, you scored. Actually, no, Noah, you did pretty good, dude. Like, you also did good. Let me look back at that. You did better than you think you did. Need to go to, where's the other tab at? There we go. Yeah, Noah, you scored a lot more points than you probably think you did. All right, day number 9. There we go. But a lot of people, several guessed makers, but a lot of people guessed the proof were pretty freaking close. So there was still a lot of pretty good scores that day. What's wild is, I guess, a lot more people guessed the age and the proof more right than they did the makers, because that's just not a normal profile for makers, I guess, per se. I mean, it's just different than normal makers profile. So a few people definitely guessed makers as the distillate, but a lot more people guessed the age and the proof closer to being right than they did the distillate. Yeah, Mitch. Yep, try your first maker seller. Gotcha. It's different, man. The maker seller is it's a different profile to me than normal maker stuff. So now here's the next fun one. This one messed a lot of people up. Or no, different one. Never mind. This one I was very happy with a lot of people, because this number 10 is a barely legal rye, 51% rye. But a ton of people on here guessed rye they guessed different ryes, different distillates, different guesses, but a lot of people had the guess of the bottle was some kind of a rye whiskey. So guys, a lot of you all, if there was a point scoring for, is it bourbon or traditional bourbon, is it wheated bourbon, is it rye whiskey, blah blah blah, y'all would have got the rye part right. A lot of y'all guessed the rye right. So number 10 is the Old Louisville rye batch 1. So that was non-age stated, 118 proof. That day's scores, probably Keith. That is MGP rye. So Keith and John Lair scored the highest that day, because they had the rough proof right and the distillate right. So the proof and the distillate, they were right on. So they scored the most points that day. But a ton of you all guessed rye, which was awesome, because I know it's a rye, but it doesn't scream rye where it's like barely legal. So sample 11. 11 is the polarizing one. 11 had some headshots too. So let me go through here real quick on headshots first. I enjoyed that. Anthony headshotted it. I think Anthony cheats, but I mean, that's just, no. I'm teasing. So Anthony headshotted it. James Preston, James P. Prestex, he headshotted it. Jonathan Ho headshotted it. Keith Miller. I don't know if I'm saying y'all's last name. I guess I shouldn't say that. So I can't edit it. It's a live, but we'll just say Keith M. How about that? Headshotted it. Nick I headshotted it. Noah, you headshotted it. Noah, you did better than you thought, Noah. Noah headshotted it. And Tyler A, he headshotted it. Walker from Louisiana, he headshotted it. And there we go. So a lot of headshots on this one. So without any further ado, let me see. Anybody say number 10, distillate, MGP number 10? Yes. So Brian, number 10 is MGP. So number 10, back up, number 10 is 51% rye, but it's an MGP distillate, non-age stated, 118 proof. And all right, so number 11, a lot of headshots that day. A lot of headshots. It is 2023 Garrison Brothers Cowboy. So it is 6-year age stated, 141 proof. So 6-year, 141 proof Garrison Brothers Cowboy. It is their own distillate, their own Texas distillate. So good. Slide, I have not had 2024, bro. It is 2023, right? Hang on. I believe that's what I got. Make sure it's not 2024. Yep, that was 2023. So 2023 is what I have. I have not had 2024. Slide, if you got 2024, I would take a sample. I would take a sample just to try against it if you got 2024. Yeah, Anthony, a lot of people got that. So yeah, you're nothing special because you just, well, you already knew you're not something special. I mean, you know, you have a mirror, but anyway. Slag 13th Colony. Now 13th Colony Double Oak. Gavin's not a bad guess, man, because that stuff is dark. It is super dark, super dark. What shelves are those? Looking, oh, dude, oh, the shelves, dude. I researched shelves beyond before I bought these. I will try to actually hang on right now. Let me see if I can find them. And you might want to, if you can DM me maybe, and I'll send you a link. But I got these on Amazon, and I searched and searched and searched. These shelves, like New Riff, that's super tall, still fits on those. So the Smooth Amber Old Scouts, any of those tall bottles fit on there. These are very thick and they are deep. So when I added these shelves, I was able to put a lot more whiskey down here because they held an extra 8 to 10, 12 bottles more than my other shelves because just that extra little depth, you get one more row of bottles on there. Let me see here real quick. On Amazon, I can send you like more of a direct link, but shoot. Oh, they didn't pull up that way. I know I found it before. I bought them a few years ago, so I got to look back through little ordering history. Here we go. See if these are still available or if they change the name on them. Oh, they're still available. So go to Amazon. Christopher Knight, Knight, Christopher Knight Home, Soho, Soho. It says indoor, outdoor, antique finish, iron shelf. $236. These are the bomb though. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those shelves. I've got 2 more shelves over there that I want to replace with these. So I'll probably do that soon. But those are the bomb shelves. They are very durable, very heavy duty, deeper, but they're tall enough to hold the tallest bottles, man. So that's what's awesome is E.H. Taylor, Smooth Amblers, Rare Characters, New Riffs, anything taller, it holds them no problem at all. So go to Amazon, Christopher Knight Home, Soho, Soho. That's what you're looking for. Yeah, no, it is polarizing though, man, because some people still say it's like it's tequila that's amped up or it's this or it's that, but I really like that Cowboy. I've not had their, I know they have 2 or 3 other bourbons. I've not had any of the other stuff, to be honest with you. That was the first media sample that we got kind of sent that's like a big media sample. So the first time ever trying Cowboy was a media sample they sent, and I was like, oh, wow, this is really good. That year on the blinds, there's actually 6 of us that do the blinds. So it's me, Anthony, our buddy Caleb, our buddy Michael, then Alves and his buddy Jordan. So 6 of us that do it. 4 of the 6 or 5 of the 6, the Cowboys scored really high. One person or 2 people, it scored super low. So it did not make it to the championship round that year, 2023. But for me personally, it was one of my top 10 whiskeys that year, for sure. Expect 100% agree. It's about concentrate. All right, so that was number 11. Now, let's go and do this real quick before we reveal number 12. let's talk about the mystery sample number 13. So if anybody on here, if you're not drinking 13 yet, sample 3, which is day 13, the mystery pour sample 13. If you're not drinking it yet, go ahead and pour that, and pour it now, because we will reveal that very soon. So day 11 was my lowest rated. It's polarized. No, it is. It's definitely polarized. Kind of like how a malt whiskey can be, or like an Irish whiskey, or even for me, like a Scotch. I do not like Scotch. I've tried multiple Scotches. I had like one Macallan Scotch I liked, but I heard it was like a $2,000 bottle. So that's probably why I liked it. But it can, number 11 can definitely polarize with that cowboy. Totally understand that. But yeah, if you've not had your mystery pour, go ahead and pour that. And actually, I'm gonna pour the mystery pour right now for myself, off camera, so you don't know what it is, because I don't want to have to send you a bottle. But if you guess it right, you get a bottle. Oh, hope you can't see it. If you can, oh man, you can see me. Oh crap, I might be in trouble. I might just giving all y'all free whiskey. Oh shoot. Uh oh. Am I giving y'all free whiskey? We'll see. I forgot I had the wide angle lens on this camera. Uh oh. Well, shoot. I might be sending y'all a bunch of whiskey. Y'all can see. Crap. Forgot I had the wide angle lens on that. Oh, well. Yeah, so the Balmoral, I've not had that. That or the Lady Bird or whatever else. I've not had that yet. How many on here are trying the mystery sample now? Just like say yes or say me or say whatever. A lot of people have already got day 13. We've already had 37 people guess on that. Whereas every other day we've got about 52, 53 guesses. So I'm assuming a few people are waiting to try it now. Andrew sick, he can't drink it. Shoot, Andrew. All right, Keith, thank you, brother. Yeah, if you can send me some. So Andrew, you're sick and you can't drink it. So DM me, because I'll forget. I will totally forget. DM me about that, and I will send you a different mystery sample next time you win a G word or get a bottom mule or something. I'll send you another mystery sample, and then if you guess it, you get a bottle of it. I'll hook you up, bro. Believe me, it's fun. I love this stuff. So it's all about you guys, man. I still have no idea why. I said it's still total shock that we have a Patreon, that you all support us financially. I'm still shocked about that. So the more y'all pour in, the more I try to give out, man, because it's all about us as a community and you all. So Andrew, since you can't drink that right now, definitely DM me. So I will 100% forget, but I will include a mystery sample the next time I send you something. And if you guess that one, then you get a bottle of it. How about that? Cheers, bro, for real. Did anyone taste coffee on the final sample? I did. To me, hang on, I'm on the mystery sample now. I get a little buttered chicken. I don't know. I get buttered chicken on that for some reason. I don't know what's up with that, but right, Anthony? What's up, David? What's up, big dog? DJ, David Jennings in the house. So yeah, Mason is drinking the mystery pour now. Yeah, so dude, joint tape. All right, so who is bourbon? See, I just don't know. I don't know the freaking YouTube bourbon. So Too Drunk Tastes This Chicken. He's got to be a local guy, man. Yes, that's like a KSD pick. See, I don't know the. Oh, Nathan. Okay, big dog. All right. Nathan Taylor. All right, so Nathan Taylor, dude, one of the huge supporters, huge podcast listeners, a buddy, a friend. We mule stuff back and forth. He gets us stuff. He's awesome dude, man. Nathan, I didn't know that was your YouTube moniker or whatever. There we go, baby. Yeah. I'll try this one. And all I'm gonna say is on this mystery pour, I've had multiple times when we're at OBC or we're at a buddy's house or somewhere, drinks are flowing, and I'll pull this out in like a little bottle like that. No one sees. I pour them. And they're like, oh my gosh, what is this? This is so great. It's so good. It's blah, 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 blah. And then they find out what it is. And they're like, wow, that's really good. So I don't want to say too much more about it because people still need to guess and answer. So whoever is on here that has not submitted your answer, it's 9:59. Submit your answer by 10:05. And we've got 6 minutes, 10:10, maybe 11 minutes or 11 minutes, 6 minutes. We need to get that answer in because I want to get that one knocked out. What's up? Alfredo, cheers, buddy. You too. Let's see. So day number 13. Dang. Only 39 submitted their guess. Gosh. So I told anybody that's not on, that can't tune into the live tonight to submit your answer ahead of time because I don't want to take away your capability of winning a whole bottle. All right. So it's 9:59 by 10:10. By 10:10, you've got 11 minutes to submit your answer for the mystery pour. So 11 minutes. I know what that pour is now. Anthony, no, you don't, dude. I cannot wait for y'all to hear next Tuesday's episode because the blonde I poured, not this coming Tuesday. This coming Tuesday is really good. This coming Tuesday, honestly, you know what? All right, I'm going to break this real quick for you all. You need to, crap, where'd that bottle go? Anthony, I hope you already bought yours. If not, you might be out of luck here in a minute, but I hope you already bought yours. Let me grab his bottle. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? All right. So this coming Tuesday's episode is Barrel King. Indall's pick that Jared did for Wes. I don't know if Wes helped with the blend or not. That's his coming Tuesday's bottle. This is great. I know I made a social media post about it. We got the bottle 3 or 4 days late or for us to do an episode before it dropped because we just couldn't work out timing on it. Did an episode tonight that'll air on Tuesday. This is a really good buy. I know it's expensive at $150, but I think $40 of that goes towards the foundation. But at $150, this still crushes most every LE I've had this year up to a $220 LE. Obviously, it's not George C. Stagg, not King Kentucky kind of like stuff, but I buy that before I buy anything else. And the color, see how dark that is too. Super dark. It's a blend of MGP and Green River that is really, really, really good. So there were still 20 or 30 of those available, I think Anthony said earlier today when he checked, and I think he's going to buy a couple bottles of them. But that's something that will come out Tuesday that's great. But the following Tuesday, that episode with Marianne, can't wait for you all to see the blonde that I did for Anthony on that with Marianne's Forbidden Stuff. It's really cool. Not even part of the 12 days. You have more than next year, bro. You got to do it. Okay, Austin's got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, Austin's close too. So Austin's so close, man. I know he's got the new baby, but he's so close. I'll just come to the house and sip, hang out. Austin is that close. All right, so let's hit sample number 12, and then we'll come back to the mystery pour. Sample number 12. Did anybody, let's look at the scores real quick. So Adam J from Ohio scored 8, pretty good score. Evan Barnett, or Evan B, I'm sorry, 7. Scott M, 8. Walker from Louisiana, 8.5. Everybody else was like 5 or less. So a little bit more difficult one. So sample number 12. Oh, okay. Well, tell Austin that's because he's not in my Patreon anymore. He joined and he left. So no, Austin's definitely invited, dude. Definitely invited. I'll have to reach out to him and DM him. He's definitely invited. So sample number 12 is Disco 13 from this year, Discovery 13. So I was very lenient on scoring for this because it is a blend of Wild Turkey, a blend of Barton, a blend of, I think, Heaven Hill. So I was very lenient on scoring for this one. I did 8 year because that's the youngest stuff in there. Anything that was in there that had a blend, I took what they could legally say was the age statement and made that the 5-point score. Then the points went up and down from there. But Disco 13, and did anybody even guess Bardstown? Several Barton, Heaven Hill guesses. That was cool. I think one person said Bardstown. Scott M said Bardstown. Everybody else was just like either Heaven Hill or some people said Turkey, that kind of stuff. But Disco 13. No, I don't think I even answered this one. What's weird too, and I forgot who it was, somebody just skipped. Somebody that actually was scoring pretty good in a lot of these, they didn't guess number 1 for some reason. So a couple things though. So the other night in our Discord live, we talked about, hey, this is our first year doing this. What should we do again for next year? Well, James, I think after day 2 or day 3, James like, hey, you should do a score. So we added that into the questionnaire. Scoring's awesome. So next year for sure, we'll have the scoring in there from day 1. And we're going to add another column that I think is cool. We usually do this when we are blinding here at the house. We'll say, how much would you pay for a bottle? So the scoring system and what you pay for a bottle has nothing to do with like final scores of what you're going to get first through whatever place. But how much would you pay for a bottle is cool because it's like, I like this, but I would still only pay $70 for this. Or, yeah, this is great. I'd pay $200 for this kind of thing. So it's kind of cool to see something you might say you pay $200 for only cost you $50. Or it's cool to see that like some whiskeys that are like still taste good, that might have a secondary value of $500, you might only pay $100 for, that kind of thing. So next year we're going to do that for sure. We also talked about, I'm going to try to, when I pour the samples next year, and the reason I didn't do it this year is because I hate to say, hate to go from low to high, but a lot of people did drink 100% drink those in order. And if you're going to drink like 4 or 5 things together, you don't want to go 95 proof, 130, then 101, then 103, then because a lot of people drink like 3 or 4 days in a row together just because everybody's timing is different. I definitely don't expect you to drink like 1 pour a day every day because it's just everybody's life is too busy for that. So next year I'm gonna probably pour in proof order or at least close in proofs. You might have a 118 to, you might have like a 118 one day. It might be 115 the next, 122, but it's going to be closer in proof together versus like a big spike up and down. Just so that way, if you're drinking a bunch, you aren't like blown out by one. But any other kind of recommendations, just let me know, man. DM me. We're definitely open to that. Want to make it better for you all. But we're going to do for sure the scoring next year. How much would you pay for a bottle? And I'll probably pour them closer in ascending proof as well. Yeah, Greg. Yes, 100%. Somebody, it might have been you, and I think somebody else did guess Disco 13, just not for day 12. So I think I saw 2 or 3 guesses of Disco 13. It just wasn't on the correct day. So yep. All right, 3 more minutes. Everybody get their answers in. Get 3 minutes to get your answers in on the mystery pour. Mystery pour, little granddad. Who on? I know several of you guys on here have me mule the Traverse City 16 year. And then J Hobbs Hartfield hazmat. If you got those in, have you cracked those yet? What'd you think? I thought the Hartfield was just good, okay, not great, but just good. And I even said that in Discord. That's why, I did not overhype it. Tell you guys I didn't, but if you bought it, hopefully you knew that going into it, that it was good. But that Traverse City 16 year that's pretty freaking special to me. I don't know if anybody's opened that up yet, but it's freaking awesome. What's up, Tony? How you doing, big dog? I'm trying to think who all got that Traverse City that might be on here. $10:09. We got 1 minute, so we got to get the mystery pour samples in. Where we go here? New members. Anybody in Discord, man, go into the new members area and welcome Greg into the Discord. Josh Orange, he's still blinding stuff he's posting. Whatever he's blinding tonight. There we go. All right. Keith, that's a good. All right, so Cam is a good one. So I sent Cam the 12 days. Cam, a few things about Cam. Number one, Cam has been a big supporter of us from day one. He's actually a half Satch member. Number two, Cam promoted us on his social media platform. So a lot of you guys actually kind of came over to us from Cam. Cam and I's palate differs a little bit on some things, but Cam is very, very, very true to his palate. He is weird like me, like nerdy like me, where he has his processes to where he literally is processed on everything. He even, like I could drink out of any glasses. I don't have a great nose. Cam even only uses certain glasses, but Cam definitely makes sure that he's on when he does stuff. So anything Cam, like most stuff Cam says, I 100% trust because I know that he's put it through his processes. But no, Cam. So what happened on Cam is he went ahead. Let me pull it up here real quick. Cam guessed day one, and he scored 5 points. Cam guessed day two, and he scored 8 points. So he's 13 points out of 2 days. Cam did not guess beyond day 1 and 2. I know Cam got sick. So the other day when I mentioned this on Discord, everyone said Cam is sick right now. He's not drinking anything. He can't drink anything. So Cam only guessed 2 days, and he scored 13 points out of 2 days. So my guess is if Cam actually completed the whole thing, he'd be up there with Anthony, is my guess, being towards the top. But we don't know, and we'll never know because he did not guess. But yeah, Cam did great he got 13 points out of 2 days in a row. So, and let me, before we talk about the mystery pour, I need to go to my total scores. So what happened is I had my total scores and everybody listed first through 11th place. That got out of whack because the way that column was pulling from the rest of the spreadsheets. So I've got to go to Paul's list of just a total list under email scores because that one's like the true scores. So Anthony 109, that's got to be first place. Let's see, Keith scored a 70. Y'all gotta keep track of me a little bit here. 70. So Gavin scored an 86. I'm gonna put second. Crap. I'm gonna put second there just to, I can change it if we need to, and put first next to Anthony. So 86. What I say Keith scored is 70. So let's see if we got anything between 70 and 86. 86. All right, there's an AD. Jonathan Hull scored an 80, so let's put third next to his name. So 86 to 80. 80. Any more 80s or high 70s? And there is not. All right, so I'm going to say fourth place, which is third place for prizes, should be Keith at a 70. Let me look at my other column and see, make sure that is, everything's jiving. 70, 86, Keith 70, Jonathan Ho. All right, Jonathan was an 82 in that column, and 80 in this column. Why is he 2 points higher on the other one, though? Nah, I'm gonna use my original column, man. I just got to go back and look at that. I don't know what Rip did with that. All right, let me just zero all these out and start over on my column. So I checked my column completely. Let's do that. I wanted to have all this done earlier today, but my brother came in town from Florida. So I got tied up this afternoon. Then we recorded tonight. So I got very busy, unfortunately. All right, let's rock this. We'll say Anthony at 109. We'll say first place. Gavin at 86 is second. Jonathan at 82 is third. And that should make Keith, make sure 30, 30, 30, 30, 40s, 47s, 54s. Yep, Keith at 70 should be fourth place. Let me just make sure there's nothing above 70 anywhere else. 40, 40, 32. Nope. All right, so Keith is in fourth place, which is third place in prize at 70. So now let's look for anything in the 60s from anybody. 47. Looking in the 60s. Let's see, any 60s. Oh, there's a 63. Mitchell Lamb or Mitchell L. Oh, you're alive. I don't know what I'm trying to say. We'll say you're probably fifth place at a 63. Anything else in the 60s? Nothing else in the 60s. So now let's go to the 50s. Avi had a 52, so we'll put an X in there just because he's in the 50s. Evan Barnett, 54, he's in the 50s. Jesse L in the 50s, got a 52. John Lair, 53, so he's in there in the 50s. Any other 50s? Rick T, 51. All right, so that's all the 50s. So to all the 50s, we got 52, 54, 53. So 54 would be sixth place. Why is that column not centered? Here we go. So 54 is sixth place. 53 is seventh place. And we got, there's a 51, and I think two 52s, right? Yep. So eighth and ninth place is a tie with Jesse L and Avi. Both scored a 52. So that is 8th/9th. So you two will have to flip a coin, run a rando, something for eighth, ninth, well, eighth, ninth, and air. So it's really seventh or eighth place for the prizes. Eighth, ninth. All right. And then that would make Rick at a 51, the 10th place. So one more place for the prizes because the top 10 got prizes. And if anybody is just tuning into this now and not been following it along, not part of the Patreon Discord thing, 12 days of Christmas. Let me scroll up. We have got oh boy, for the prizes. Where are the prizes at? And I don't see all the prizes in one. I missed let's find that email. But now we've got Old Forester birthday bourbon. We got a lot B. We got the mashup original raw pick. We got an Alves Shorty pick in there. We've got one of my old Louisville picks, the Firebomb. Kentucky Owl Rye, one of the original batches of Kentucky Owl Rye. Several other good bottles. I just can't find that email in front of me right now. So let's see. Rick scored a 51 at 10th place. So we need one more place. So let's look for the highs and 40s. High 40s. Chris L got a 47. Let me put him X there, just a 47. Anybody beat a 47? Greg D scored a 46. You're close. James Preston, 44. He's close. I'm looking for something better than 47. Rising got a 42. TA, Tyler A, scored a 45. So, Chris L with a 47 is 11th place, which is 10th place for the prizes. So, that is our top 10. Isaac chat just threw all my guesses in. The guy. Did you have anything yet? Yes. So Guy 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. What is I don't know this. I don't know your YouTube name. So who are you in Discord or Patreon world or real life world? Greg D at Amanda Recount. Yep, Greg D, you were close, bro. You were close. You got 12th place, it looks like. What is Guy? I don't know who that is. So this thing, man, I'm old, man. It's like going between Facebook names, which are usually real life names, to Instagram handles, to Discord, to Patreon, to now YouTube. I don't know who's who, but it's wild. But yeah, Keith, man, I wish Cam would have been able to complete these because I think he would have scored really well. Who counted the hanging chads? Definitely not Georgia. Oof. Definitely not the state of Georgia. That's for sure. But I've got all the Paul can double check. He's got access to this, but that's all the scores. They all add up together. So I'm just gonna look through there and double check it. That's what I had the other day was that same order, but I just want to make sure it's still. But I added like, but people were still able to guess the score from day 7 through 12, and even though with their scores added, they didn't catch up to these guys. Let me just make sure nothing else there. John Lair. Yeah, that's good. That's yep. Like I said, I can send everybody the Google Doc. I'm not holding anything back for sure. What's up, Micus? How you doing, big dog? Mojo, there we go. Bless up. Yep, Merry Christmas, man, for sure. Chaos, what's up, man? Yeah, chaos. Speaking of chaos, I don't know if I was supposed to reply to that email, but I haven't heard back on that email that you sent. I don't know if I was supposed to reply or with my address or anything, or if just waiting on him to reply. But I did reply to that email. So, all right. It is 13 minutes past 10:10. So everyone should have had their sample 3, which was really day 13, the mystery pour guess in by now. So I'm gonna look at that list real quick. So if you've not submitted, you need to submit now. If you're just tuning in, you need to submit now. Let's see. So sample 13. We've got Maker's Mark, Seller, Benchmark. Anthony had the worst guess in the history of guesses for the sample 13. He said Devil's River coffee flavored whiskey. Blech. Laws Rye, my first old Louisville pick, JD 14, an 8-year Dusty. Oh, actually, the benchmark they said was 1975 benchmark. So they were guessing like a Dusty benchmark. Someone said a Dusty Rye. A Dusty Wild Turkey 8101. 1792 Ridgemont Reserve, Master's Keeper Revival, NBC pick, my birthday bottle, Old Forester Single Barrel, Beacon, Wild Turkey Split 12, old school stuff. Penelope Weeded, Joseph Baggins Cigar, Dark Arts Armagnac, Knob Creek 21, Eagle Rare 12, Woodford Double Oaked, Eagle Rare 12, Triton, Redbreast 12, Cash Strength, another split label, 4 Rose Single Barrel, Knob Creek 21, Weller 12. Someone else guessed Lot B. Somebody guessed Russell's 15. Someone said Jack 12 in Cam's honor. Michter's 10, OGD 7, Single Malt, Russell's 10, Michter's 10, Bullet. So everyone's got a chance to get their guesses in. Let me get back to here real quick. All right, Chaos, he's off right now. Okay, cool. Brian, yeah, will I post a list of the samples and results in Discord? Yes, I will. I will post that in Discord. Don't think you that you suck at guessing or blinding. It's blinding is hard. Like I blind all the time, and it's still hard as crap. Like I told Anthony yesterday when I was like, I think Anthony scored better in these blinds than I would have scored in these blinds. I consider myself a very good blinder overall. Cam and I did that live video that one night with the samples John sent. Headshot of 2 bottles, did pretty good. There's other times that I'm like way off. So blinding's hard. It is very hard. Don't think you suck at it. It is what it is. All right. So the mystery pour right here is that you could have won a bottle of if you'd headshotted it. Is Early Times Bald Bond Black Cap. So Keith and I forgot who the other person was, were the closest, where they said a Brown-Forman product, Old Forester product. So Keith, Chris Lynn said Brown-Forman 95 proof. Keith said Brown-Forman 107 proof, and then somebody else up here got really good close to it. But yeah, that's a couple good guesses of that. Hunter said an Old Forester 100 proof. So he had literally, like, he was so close, 100 proof, and it's an Old Forester product back then. So yeah. So Hunter and Keith and Chris L were all pretty close to that. But yeah, man. So that's just it's and think about it. Back then, I think I paid probably 30 locally. I paid probably $30 to $35 for mine, but they used to be like $20, $22. Until they were announced being discontinued, the price shot up a little bit. But these are great, and they're 1 liter bottles, and they hang with some. Because if you look at all your blind guesses, if you look at what you guessed blind, you were guessing some really expensive stuff, because this tastes expensive even though it's not. So that Black Cap Early Times, man, it's special, dude. And that's why I do have probably 5 cases of it, 4 cases of it at least 4 cases, if not 5 cases. Probably 4 cases of it left. I think I've gave away, sold, not gave away, but cost plus shipped and then sold a few. Just so I'm probably down to 4 cases of it, but it's good. It's really good. Anthony, it's not, bro. You just suck. I mean, it is what it is. I apologize. You have no palate, Anthony, but it is Early Times Black Cap. Yes, Black Cap ET is one of the best low price bottles ever. Totally agree, Mojo. Totally agree. It's wild, man. It's crazy. And the new Early Times is still good. It gets hated on a lot. Just I think unfairly, because for the money, that's still got to be probably the best Buffalo Trace products they make for the money. It's just not as good as this. And we blinded it multiple times, and the Black Cap wins every time. But the Buffalo Trace one, well, you know what though? I need to revisit that. I say that because when Buffalo Trace bought those, supposedly they got the barrels. So when you tasted the original first year or two of Early Times Balled and Bond, that was supposedly the same Brown-Forman juice as when it was the Black Cap, but the difference in profile had to do with the Buffalo Trace blenders compared to the Brown-Forman blenders. But I have not tried a brand new Early Times Balled and Bond release. That now they should be onto Buffalo Trace juice as compared to the other juice. I need to try that. I need to get a brand new one of those just to see how much different it is. Because I do have a bottle from like 6 months. That's the very, very first release. I have the very first release of Early Times when it was done once Buffalo Trace owned them. So I'd like to compare that to a brand new release of that. I need to do that soon. I need to do that very soon. Gavin, how old is the Black Cap? Whenever they're discontinued is when I bought them. So what was that, 2022, 2023? Let me see. Yes, I did vacuum the stairs. Sorry about that. Early Times. Where is it at? There we go. 2020 and 2021. So my Black Caps are from 2020 and 2021. And then whatever the very first release of, maybe it was late 2021 or 2022, whenever the first Buffalo Trace one was released, I have that one open as well. But I would be curious to try a brand new one because chances are it's either only Buffalo Trace liquid now, or it might be mainly Buffalo Trace with a little bit of Brown-Forman blended in. But you'd be curious to see how that tastes compared to the one that was all Brown-Forman. People can find half gallon. Big Prince would be the same distillate for 4+. You're giving Balled and Bond. I mean, I said they bought supposedly when they bought the brand, they got all the existing stock. So the first year, maybe the first 2 years, but definitely the first year they put out the Early Time from Buffalo Trace. It was basically those same barrels, just blended. Whoever Buffalo Trace's blenders selected that profile to be, but the new stuff should be totally different. Age in Early Times, it is non-age stated, Tom. So non-age stated. I vacuumed the stairs, definitely code. Now, if you hear it now, my wife is vacuuming upstairs. So she's vacuuming upstairs, which is it's fine. We're going to end this video anyway. We're done what we can do. Nobody won a mystery bottle. and then we've got the top 10 listed out. But no, I said I vacuumed the stairs earlier because she hates vacuuming. She will not vacuum the stairs. I have to vacuum all the stairs. And we have dogs, so it gets hairy. Mojo, I'd say Black Cap was closer to 8 years old. Dude, it might have been because, dude, I'm telling you, this Black Cap, when I pour this, after we've had, I just randomly go grab this and pour it for people while we're sipping some good stuff. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, what is this?" So it's even though it's bottom, yeah, I'd say it's probably 6 to 8, 7 to 8, 9 years old. It's probably not just like right at 4 by any means at all. Let's get a live bet for the game. What can I bet a quarter on? Boom. No, she is not drinking whiskey right now. She is drinking, I'm going to kick Kenny's butt because Kenny is hung out with his friends and drank whiskey for 2 days in a row. So that's what she's on right now. We did one of our rounds of the blinds last night, and then today I've been doing this all day. We recorded 4 episodes plus this, so she's on that kick. You're welcome, Tom, man. It's good. Yeah, and I think next year will be better. We'll get all the samples out earlier. My goal is next year to have the samples mailed by the 1st of November, so that way they're in your possession. They're out of here. Because it became so hectic because I work retail. This is our busy season. Trying to time it all up was just too much. Plus, there was an increase in rates, man, with shipping. If you look at what I shipped out, most all of those sample bottles, and then literally 5 days after that, the UPS rates dropped probably 30, 40% in price. Just because it wasn't during that hot Black Friday season. So next year I'm going to ship them early and beat the whole UPS increase. Yep. You'll see it too, man. Heck yeah. So that's it, man. That's appreciate you guys tuning in. If you've not liked and subscribed to the channel, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you got any friends, relatives, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, even if they don't watch any videos, just have them click the subscribe button. Really need to get to 1,000 subscribers. It's where we get over 1,000 listens per episode, but we can't get 1,000 YouTube subscribers. So Happy New Year to you too, Slide. Don't forget tomorrow. I've still not sent the email yet. Tomorrow we are dropping. So tomorrow is the Hartfield 18-year drop and the River Roots 153, 152 proof drop. So be looking for your email with the link to purchase that. And then be looking at Patreon. Starting at 12 o'clock will be Half Satch. 1 o'clock will be Boom, and so on and so forth for your codes to get in on those. So that is dropping tomorrow. Yep, Greg is fun. Yeah, double blinds, man. Double blinds, different animal. Like I said, you take, if you put 8 whiskeys in front of me, pour them out, and I blind them, and I know which 8 they are. I mean, I should get 6 or 8, 6 to the 8, 8 of the 8, 7 of the 8, correct. Double blinds are a different animal. Double blinds are totally different, man. So it is. It's been fun. Appreciate you guys. It's been very fun. Look for that email, and then tomorrow on Patreon, you'll get your password to get in and make the purchase. So appreciate you guys. I will see y'all soon, man. Thank y'all. Cheers. And end.